Beautiful people, how are you doing again? Kuna hesabu nimefanya hapa na kusema ukweli nimeona hai make sense because luckily for myself, the cars that I have bought and put on Uber, I have not bought them on loan. So every money that I get from my drivers right from day one has really contributed to my cash flows. So meaning I don't have to pay anyone for those cars when I get my income every week. Normally, I usually ask for 8 to 9,000 for Suzuki Altos 660cc. But there is some maths that I have done here, and I want to reason this one out with you. Because nimeona hii biashara inaweza kuwa challenging by the way. When you see people complaining, they have some good reasons to complain. And we were taught in university in one module by a certain lecturer who told us there are always good reasons for which people do things they do. So when you see taxi drivers complaining, it's always good to take some time and try to understand why are they complaining, whether taxi drivers or investors. So this is the math without giving you so many stories. Assuming that you ask your driver for 9,000 per week. I have the calculator here. 9,000 per week. That means that your driver will give you 36,000 per month. When you go to borrow money from the bank to buy Toyota Vitz, for example, or Toyota Passo, let's assume that you will go and do a deposit of 300,000, and then the 700,000 you'll be required to pay in, let's say, 36 months. So if you have 700,000 that you need to pay back in 36 months, plus interest and everything else, that means that you will be paying back around 25,000, okay, plus interest and everything else. So you will be paying back to the bank around 25,000 per month. And remember, for 3 years, and remember your driver is giving you 36,000. So what do you have in your pocket? What you have in your pocket is 11,000 per month. Remember, that car will require services. So the general regular oil change and air filter and the regular service, you will be requiring on average 2,000 per month. Even if you don't do it every other month, sometimes you will skip 1 month, but every time you go to do those services, it will cost you around 4,000 to 5,000. So on average, you can put that expense at 2,000 per month. That car will be asking for other stuff. On my average estimation, you should set aside around 5,000 to 6,000 per month to take care of that car. Those are normal, regular services, replacement and spares. So from time to time, that car will be asking that. Also remember, in between, that car will require some major replacement, like doing the tires. That would cost you like 20,000. Spark plugs can cost you around 10 to 15,000. And any other damage that could happen to that car. I haven't also mentioned the the insurance. If you do comprehensive, you are going to pay around 50 to 70,000. So with all those stories, honestly, if you buy your car on loan, you will not be making any money for the first 3 years. And by saying you will not make any money, it means that your driver should be working all the 52 weeks of that year for the 3 years for you not to make money. I hope my English is not complicated. Your driver must work every week for 52 weeks in every year for the first 3 years, okay, for you not to make money. If your driver does not work all the months, all the weeks, then definitely you will not make money. But what will happen is that you will lose money. What I'm trying to tell you through this video is that if you buy your car on loan and your repayment period is 3 years and your repayment amount is around 30,000, my people, understand the expectations. You will not make anything the first 3 years. And that's why I think that it is very good that you engage your mind in reasoning out what type of business are you getting into. Because I said the biggest gain can only happen if you manage to get a cheap car when starting. Okay? And remember, the 700,000 we are talking about is the repayment to the bank. It is not your break-even point. Okay? You still have another 300,000 to pay back to yourself because of the deposit you made. That looks like a very complicated business to get into. It is not all that complicated. Do your math at the early days before you get in. Do your due diligence. You know, beat your head until you find a way to get a cheap car. Okay? I don't know how you will do that, but you must make sure that your car does not cost you all the money. Otherwise, you can also do it this way. If okay, you can also do, sorry guys, there was a bit of traffic there. So the other way you can do it, you can buy your car, use the first 3.5 years to break even, okay? And then once you break even, assuming you have bought a nice car, because you know, if you buy a Paso, you buy a Beat, I think it can give you service of around 5 years. And then, you know, you will enjoy the net profit the 4th and the 5th year. And that should be, you know, well understood in your mind. Because that is always the biggest obstacle with so many people. When you get in there, you will start to imagine that you will make money from day one until the last day of life of that car. But in a real sense, that is not the case. You will only make money towards the tail end of that investment. And that's why I always tell people, is it much better for you to accumulate some more cash so that you shorten your loan repayment? Is it much better for you maybe to get enough cash to buy your car on cash basis, even if it will be a second-hand car? And I will one day speak about refurbishing second-hand cars at a very affordable price and gives you access to cheap cars when getting into the market. In my view, I will never go for a brand new car that is going at premium market prices. I will always do opportunistic buys. I will go into the market, look for whoever is selling their cars urgently, and then I get into that deal, you know, that gives you quick access to a car at a cheaper rate. So I hope that will help you, and I look forward to doing another video. Sorry guys, I'm going to Thika Road Mall and traffic is hectic here and it is raining like dog and cats. So that was my analysis for you today, and I hope to see you soon again in my next video. Goodbye for now.